Welcome to my tarot card reading for fire signs, January 2015, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Let's start with an introduction to the fire elements. Here we have the Ace of Cups, Nine of Swords, Two of Cups, and here we have the High Priestess, Cancer, Moon, Taurus, Queen of Swords, Libra, Throne, Venus, Saturn, Capricorn, Two of Pentacles. For you fire signs, this month is all about relationships. It's about interaction between you and someone else, be it your boss, your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever it is. It's all about relationships. It's about being practical and realistic. Okay? You're a fire sign. This is all about action. But if you are a cardinal sign like Aries, this is all about acting without thinking. And if you are a fixed sign like Leo, this is all about stability and identity. Now, dislike for changes. That's all about you, Leo. Then we have Sagittarius, which is a mutable sign, which is a good thing because it helps you adapt to circumstances. Okay, we're going to have the rising sign at the end of the video, and in between we're going to see each sign. Therefore, you will be able to see and understand the dynamic of your element and your sign interacting with the rising sign. There's quite a few upside down cards. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's not even 50% of the cards, but it's letting us know that there's going to be some difficulties or softball challenges, obstacles during the month of January, or a tendency for introspection. Okay, a tendency for introspection for many signs or for some of the signs. Okay, so let's go in detail with each sign and let's see how all will manifest for each sign of you. Okay, welcome to my tarot card reading for January 2015, fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Aries, this is your reading. We have a Goon, we have the Ace of Cups, we have Saint Blandina, the Hanged One, and the Two of Pentacles, Saturn, Capricorn. Ace of Cups, emphasis on relationships and, to be more specific, contracts. Therefore, this is all about matrimony, career, professions, business, relationships. Okay? It could be your career, your profession. If you have a business, you own a business, or you have a partnership or association, this is contemplated here. We have Ogum. Notice that Ogum is upside down, but technically it's looking towards this card, the Ace of Cups. Saint Blandina is doing the same thing, looking towards the Ace of Cups, hinting us that this month of 2015, everything is going to spin around contracts. Be it a relationship, a matrimony, or a business, partnership, venture, whatever, etc. Okay? That's what technically is this all about. There's going to be sacrifices that have to be done. You have to wait some sacrifices, my dear Aries. So this is what the tarot cards are signaling for you. Sacrifices strongly related with contracts. Okay? The Two of Pentacles, Saturn and Capricorn, is letting us know that you really need to be a little bit more practical, more realistic regarding this contract. Okay? This relationship. You have to look for balance, therefore you have to be practical, realistic. And San Blandina is remembering us that the possibility of making a sacrifice is on the horizon. Okay? That's what we have for you, my dear Aries, for January 2015. And I would like to remind you that at the end of the video we have the rising sign. Welcome to my tarot card reading for January 2015. Fire signs: Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Leo, this is your reading. We have here karma, Nine of Swords, Saint Constantine, the Emperor, and the Queen of Swords representing the throne of Libra with Venus and Saturn. And we have the Queen of Swords, Libra, the throne of Libra, that is giving us a hint of what this reading is all about. Relationships, how we interact with each other, person, individual. It could be our spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, but it's about relationships, interaction with others. Saturn, Venus is letting us know. This is letting us know that we really need, Leo. We have to be more practical and realistic in this relationship that is going to be emphasized during the month of January. This relationship, opposite to Aries, is not more business, career oriented. This is more highly probable, romantic, highly probable. Karma and the Emperor is signaling changes, a shifting in this dynamic that is going to cause suffering, is going to make you feel worried to the point that you cannot sleep. It is about worrying about a relationship. But the tarot cards are letting us know that you really need to be more realistic and practical regarding this relationship. Okay? Saturn also, seen from a negative perspective, is also letting us know that there are going to be obstacles, threats, or a relationship that is going to be tested. And that's probably why we've seen this. Saint Constantine, we have to remember that he had a dream that there was a cross, and with this cross he will be able to win the battles. And then we have karma. Karma also is obviously related with justice, the law. Therefore, we're going to start seeing a dynamic of highly probable, we could be talking about divorce or problems that some way, somehow, the law is going to be involved. Okay? So we have to keep that in mind for you, Leo, because there's going to be a shift in the dynamic of the relationship. Okay? That is going to create, I'm going to repeat myself, is going to create a nightmare, if we can call it like that, to be dramatic, where you're going to be worried about the relationship. Okay? That's what we have here. Let me summarize. Concerns about a relationship that might have some legal extensions, repercussions, reorganization, shifting of relationships, and being practical about a relationship. Okay, my dear Leo, January 2015. Welcome to my tarot card reading for January 2015. Fire signs: Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this is your reading. We have Oya, Yansa. We have the Two of Cups and Saint Stephen, representing the death, martyrdom. High Priestess with Cancer, Moon, and Taurus. Notice that all the cards for you, Sagittarius, are upside down. Oya and Saint Stephen are signaling that there's going to be stagnation, a slowdown. Things are going to stagnate, they're not going to work. And all this is related with a relationship. Okay? This is all about relationships. Highly probable, romantic, highly probable. But it's all about relationship. It could be also contracts. But this is a breakup. It's all about a breakup. January is going to be the month where things are going to be stagnant. They're going to get stagnant, and they're going to affect a relationship. Okay, we have Cancer, Moon, Taurus. Taurus is about values. Cancer is domestic stuff, the home. So it seems like, notice that all that upside down. It seems like there's going to be an introspection from your part, my dear Sagittarius, where you are going to reevaluate your perception about a relationship. You're going to reevaluate, rethink, reanalyze yourself in regard to this relationship. If you do that, you are going to start seeing that the relationship probably is stagnant, it's not going anywhere. If it is a contract that I also can see as a relationship, the same thing applies. Okay? But this is all about a relationship or a contract that is stagnant, it's not moving, and you start doing a reevaluation, a reanalysis of you and that relationship. Okay? That's what I have for you for January 2015. And don't forget that next we have the rising sign. Welcome to my tarot card reading for January 2015. Fire signs: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is the rising sign. If your rising sign is Aries, my dear Aries, the tarot cards are saying that you're going to get rid of something. And when we see here, you're going to get rid of a contract, whatever the contract is. That could mean a divorce, that could mean anything. You're just going to make a sacrifice related with a contract. If it is business related, especially career or profession related, you are going to get rid of a contract. Highly probable that contract is holding you back, and that's why the tarot cards are signaling a sacrifice. If you're Aries with a Aries rising sign, you are going to take action regarding this contract that I already mentioned before. If your rising sign, my dear Leo, is in Aries, the same thing is going to happen. You're going to take action regarding this relationship that is bothering you, making you suffer. You're going to take action. The same thing goes with you, my dear Sagittarius. If your rising sign is Aries, you're going to take action and you're going to get rid of this relationship that is stagnant and is not going anywhere. Okay? If your rising sign is Taurus, my dear Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, the dynamic is a little bit different. You're always looking for stability if your rising sign is Taurus. But this contract that you have here, my dear Aries, might be a total failure. It might not work out for you. So it's time for you to take action. But at the same time, it might signal that it all depends on you. The same thing goes with you, my dear Leo. Taurus, two fixed signs, Taurus and Leo. If your rising sign is Taurus, my dear Leo, this is letting us know that this relationship where you are suffering a lot is really heading to failure. And if we have the law here, we're then talking about a possibility of something related with courts, the law system, etc. If your rising sign is Taurus, my dear Sagittarius, is letting us know that this stagnation that we're talking about, this relationship that is stagnant, is not moving anywhere, is going or is heading towards failure. If your rising sign is Gemini, my dear Aries, the dynamic of the contract is binding, and you might feel like you're some sort of a slave, or you cannot break the contract at the moment, and probably that's why is the sacrifice that you have to make, and you need to be practical about it. If your rising sign, my dear Leo, is Gemini, then you have a situation, and it's a very interesting situation. It seems like you are in a relationship that you have become codependent. It is an abusive relationship, highly probable, because we have the devil card here. Playing with this dynamic is letting us know that this is a relationship that abuse is probably there. Highly probable there is drugs and a lot of other stuff going on here, and they're all included: alcoholism, drugs, sexual abuse, and who knows what else. And that's what we have here. Is also letting us know that you might not break from this relationship. Okay, you are becoming some sort of a slave to that relationship. If your rising sign, my dear Sagittarius, is Gemini, the dynamic is all about becoming some sort of a slave. You are attached or chained to a relationship that technically is dead. It's not evolving, it's not going anywhere, but some way, somehow, during the month of January, you decide to cling to it, to just grasp the relationship and not let go. You become a slave to it. If your rising sign, it is Leo, my dear Aries, this is, Cancer, my dear Aries. If your rising sign is Cancer, we are going to start seeing that this dynamic that you have to make a sacrifice is probably too much for you to bear, and you just run and hide. Like a good Cancer, you just run and hide. It will be also a good time for you to analyze do a lot of thinking about this contract and the sacrifice that you have to make. If you run and hide and don't confront the problem, this means a possibility of depression. If your rising sign, my dear Leo, is Cancer, this means that you are in a relationship. It could be that you are in a codependent relationship, abusive relationship. The thing is that in this relationship you're constantly suffering, but you always hide some way, somehow, behind alcohol, behind workaholic, whatever it is, the method that you use for hiding is going to be reflected during this time of the year. If your rising sign, my dear Sagittarius, is Cancer, obviously we have a relationship that is technically dead. There is no flow. It's very stagnant. And what you're going to do is like the ostrich. You're going to bury your head in the sand and you're just going to ignore anything. You're not going to do much about it. That's technically what it is for you, my dear Sagittarius, with a rising sign in Cancer. Because all of these are upside down, and this one as well, that means that highly probable there's going to be a tendency for feeling depressed during this time of the year, because you are realizing the state of the relationship. Okay, now, if your rising sign is Leo, my dear Aries, then this contract is all about reorganization. Okay? Reorganization. This is forcing you to do a lot of reorganization in your life during January, be it profession, career-wise, anything that is related with profession, career is about to transformed, or you transform it. If your rising sign, my dear Leo, is Leo, dynamic. There is a dynamic that is going to create changes and reorganization. The law, remember that the law is there, and highly probable you take action some way, somehow, and get involved in the law, or the law gets involved, okay? But it's all about reorganization, changes for you, Leo. If your rising sign, my dear Sagittarius, is Leo, again, changes and reorganization. You decide to do something about this relationship that is stagnant, that is not moving, that is technically dead. You decide to do something about it. If your rising sign is Virgo, my dear Aries, the dynamic is a little bit different. There is a contract. You need to make a sacrifice, remember, about a contract. It could be career-wise, profession related, whatever it is, but it's mostly related in that aspect. You need to make a sacrifice, but it's going to be something really good for you because it's showing progress, growth. My dear Leo, if your rising sign is Virgo, we are going to start seeing that all this suffering and being practical, it seems like gets to a level that pushes you into a different direction. There's going to be a change in mind. You're going to grow out of this abusive relationship, we can call it like that. Okay? Sagittarius, if your rising sign is Virgo, what we are going to start seeing is that from this stagnant relationship that you are, something new is going to emerge. The question is, what is this new thing that is going to emerge? Is a new relationship? Are you going to fall in love with someone else? Are you going to find a different job, a different contract? There is something new emerging from this stagnant situation. If your rising sign is Libra, my dear Aries, what we have here is the strength. And Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the tarot are saying that you will have the strength necessarily to face the situation and deal with it. There's not a lot to say here. If your rising sign is a Scorpio, my dear fire signs, we have the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Cups is representing here also Scorpio. So this is all about changes. So Aries, expect changes related with profession, career, or anything related with your profession or career and a contract. Expect changes and transformations. If you are a Leo with a rising sign in Scorpio, expect changes regarding this relationship where you are suffering. If you are Sagittarius with his rising sign Scorpio, Scorpio house number 8, and then we have death here and Yansa that is also related with death. Notice that this aspect of Scorpio is going to be strongly manifested if your rising sign is a Scorpio, my dear Sagittarius, which means that there's going to be a lot of changes and transformation in this relationship or this contract that is technically dead. That means that it's going to come to an end, if you didn't understand that. Okay? If your rising sign is Sagittarius, my dear Aries, this means that you're going to be on the defensive mode. Probably you are smelling that you need to make a sacrifice, or the company that you work, they're going to make a sacrifice, meaning that you may be let go. They're going to lay you off and you can smell it. And you are in the defensive mode. Okay? If you are Sagittarius rising sign, my dear Leo, then it's letting us know that you are in a defensive mode and you have been hurt so much that now the victim becomes the ones that inflicts the pain, technically speaking, because you are trying to protect yourself. If your rising sign is Sagittarius, my dear Sagittarius, it seems like you get tired of this relationship that is stagnant, it's not going anywhere. And remember, when I talk about relationship, I also take under consideration job, because it's a relationship, contracts. It seems like some way, somehow, you get tired of it and you become also defensive. Okay? So, in other words, you are constantly sarcastic, making comments that are very hurtful, because you're tired. This relationship is technically stagnant, and that's how you are reacting to it. If your rising sign is Capricorn, my dear Aries, this is about flow, the temperance, flow. And we are going to start seeing that this sacrifice that you're going to make related career, profession, contracts is going to flow, is going to bring new things, new waters to your life. Things are going to flow easily. If you are a Leo, this suffering relationship is going to flow. In other words, it seems like there's going to be a let go in during this time of the year. If you're a Sagittarius, it's the same stuff. A let go, a flow. Things are going to start moving, a letting go. If your rising sign is Aquarius, you're going to fight to keep things as they are. Okay? If you are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, it doesn't matter. You're going to fight to keep things at bay as they are. You don't want changes, even you know that you need to make a sacrifice. You are in an abusive relationship, or you're suffering in that relationship, or the relation is technically dead. It doesn't matter. You decide to give a fight, to give a try, and try to keep it as it is. If your rising sign is Pisces, my dear fire signs, this is about stagnation. Things are not growing. So if you're an Aries, if your rising sign is Pisces, you have to make a sacrifice, because this contract, this relationship, this profession, or this job that you are at is not working, is stagnant. It's about time for you to take action and make a sacrifice. It's also a good time for you to meditate and analyze your situation, your career situation, your profession, where you are and where you want to go. If your rising sign, my dear Leo, is Pisces, it's the same story. You are in a relationship that you're technically suffering. What you're going to do? This is not taking you anywhere. It's stagnant. It's not taking you anywhere, and it's highly probably making you depressed. What are you going to do? It's time for you to be practical. If your rising sign is Pisces, my dear Sagittarius, there is a possibility, well, not a possibility, their relationship is totally stagnant, it's not going anywhere. You are going to feel a little bit depressed, and it's also a good time for you to think, analyze. There's a lot of introspection going on here about what you are, what you want, where you want to go with this relationship. Okay? It seems like the relationship has died off, and it's time for you to rethink, analyze, reanalyze, evaluate, re-evaluate your situation and do something about it. And that's what I have for you for the rising sign, January 2015.